rivers are to the territory like the arteries, veins, and capillaries to our body. In the same way, our circulatory system irrigates our tissues and organs by keeping them alive and working. Rivers irrigate the territory by keeping life and natural processes on it. If we pollute our blood or block an artery, our organs and tissues will be seriously harmed, turning even into a gangrene or stopping their functions, causing our death in serious cases. If we pollute a river or we alter its flow, we will affect all the territory on its basin, destroying a big part of the biodiversity by altering the ecosystem equilibrium and preventing many natural processes. When a river is free from alterations and impacts caused by man, it's not necessary to intervene, except for taking care of and keeping it intact, preserving this way all its functions and ecologic process and the biodiversity that lives on it and its banks. There are less and less non-altered fluvial paths in our planet. There are very few rivers or important tributaries that haven't been altered or polluted in developed countries. That's why it is so important that we can take part and respect the few river sections that we still have well preserved, so they can be used as nature reservations and as a reference to recover and restore what has already been altered. The challenge is to recover and restore all the possible fluvial sections to return the greater amount of its natural functions. This will increase our life quality, providing us with all the ecosystem services that rivers give us.
Parte de nuestros ríos se encuentran en un mal estado, entonces es necesaria la restauración fluvial. De alguna manera, los que trabajamos en esto somos los médicos de los ríos, y muchos ríos los tenemos enfermos y es necesario recuperar esa situación que han tenido en el pasado, pero que ahora se han alejado pues, por numerosas prácticas sobre ellos.
The fluvial ecosystems and natural processes which are developed in them provide humans with a lot of services. We call them river ecosystemic services. Between them, there are provision services which we get directly, like the water we drink, irrigation, medicines, biodiversity, etc. There are also regulating services which we get indirectly, like the aquifers recharge, ground fertility, erosion control, or flood prevention, among other things. Finally, we receive the ecosystemic cultural services from the rivers, which are intangible or non-material, such as the services related with scientific knowledge, leisure activities, cultural identity, landscape, environmental education, artistic inspiration, and so on. By restoring rivers, we can keep territories alive and healthy, and recover the ecosystemic services that we had lost. That's something that we can have a tremendously high economic value which is difficult to evaluate. Furthermore, we will recover other added values, fundamental for the human being, which cannot be valued in economic terms.
La restauración fluvial es importante porque realmente permite devolver a sistemas fluviales alterados unas condiciones de calidad suficientes para que en la práctica aporten esos servicios ambientales, sociales e hidrológicos que los ríos tienen y que son imprescindibles para la salud humana y para el bienestar ambiental del medio que nos rodea.
Restoring is to establish a natural system by taking out the impacts that degrades it until we reach a natural and self-sustaining performance. Once we eliminate all the impact, the real restoration will produce itself through a long time process. Unfortunately, it won't be always possible to eliminate all the impacts that the human activity makes on a river. That's the reason why we speak about a realistic reverse rehabilitation opposite a utopic restoration, process through which we will only recover a part of their natural functions or conditions. The real restoration is a passive one. The job is done by nature once we eliminate the impacts. It is an active rehabilitation because it implies to use techniques and concrete structures to accelerate the recovering of natural processes. The restoration process must achieve naturalness, functionality, dynamism, complexity, diversity, and resistance to the natural system. A restoration process must also be participative and get the biggest possible social consensus. To restore is not to make breakwaters, neither channels, build weirs, funnel, gardens, urbanize, make up, camouflage, etc. To recover the natural floodplains and the fluvial space, to recover the natural flow or to establish an environmental flow, to improve a river's performance, to eliminate infrastructures that prevent the river connection with its longitudinal axis, its banks and phreatics, to eliminate pollution, etc.
Restauración fluvial en buena medida es dejar a los ríos con libertad, y entonces debería ser una restauración más pasiva, no hacer actuaciones por hacerlas, ni revegetar, ni hacer jardines junto al río.
Estamos demasiado acostumbrados a los parques urbanos en los que se corta la hierba, se mantienen, pero un parque no es algo natural. Un río tiene que ser algo natural.
Restoration must be consequent with present reality and must be focused on the future, without being obsessed to recover past situations. It is necessary to advance in regulations that allow restoration in some way rule every action that is not a restoring one. Overall, it is necessary to increase techniques and general training, and sensitize people to participate, get involved in projects, and claim to the administrations about river restoring plans and programs.
Realmente lo que pretendemos es que sean unos trabajos hechos por personas primero que estén sensibilizadas hacia lo que es un río, qué vegetación tiene que haber en un río, cómo hay que tratar a esa vegetación, cómo son las comunidades del río, cómo hay que hacer las podas si hay que hacerlas, etcétera, ¿no? Entonces eso implica una formación tanto de los operarios que van a trabajar como de los técnicos que van a dirigir esos trabajos.
The volunteering programs and the fluvial custody projects are clear examples of participation and opportunities to restore the environment and to get an active public implication on preserving rivers and aquifers by following up and keeping the implementing restoration actions. The conservation and restoring of rivers can be a stable and qualified employment source that the administrations still haven't explored enough.